and 3 kids who are now a senior, freshman in high school, and a 7th grader. So I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule this evening and joining us to learn more about this cutting-edge company called WildTree. So before we dive into the call, I just have a couple of quick housekeeping items for you guys. So just to let you know, our presentation not only has a phone component, but also a web component as well. So if you are on the phone and you would like to follow along with a visual, it's not too late. Just simply hop on www.join.me/WildTreeOpportunity. And the great part is you don't have to worry. I can not see you or hear you. So if you've got background noise, no worries. We can't see you through your screen. But you'll be able to see all of our visuals. And then also, we have currently muted the line just to avoid any background noise. But we will open it up at the end because we would love to hear what questions that you guys do have. So, all right, for those of you joining us online, also feel free to go ahead and type in any questions. You can submit those in the chat box area, and then we will get to those at the end. So, all right, let's get started. So we are excited to share with you guys tonight a little bit more about WildTree. And typically, we find that people are attracted to WildTree and the WildTree opportunity for one or more of 5 different reasons. So as you listen, I really challenge you to think about if one of these really resonates or speaks with you. So the first one that you can see there is financial freedom. And to be quite honest, this was not initially what drew me to WildTree, but it is now an integral piece of my vision for my WildTree business. For me, WildTree has allowed me to pay for my kids' private schools. Next year, my daughter will be going off to college. We were able to buy our new dream home with some land. And WildTree has just provided us the financial means to be able to do those things that were meaningful and important to my family. And a lot of other people join WildTree specifically for that reason, whether it's to pay off debt, have early retirement, do things around the house. It just provides a lot of financial opportunities. Another reason that some people join is for the freedom. And that's honestly what drew me initially. I really was intrigued by the concept of being my own boss. A lot of people come to WildTree not really having a whole lot of care about what they may be earning. They may be earning the same as the job that they left, but they really just crave that freedom. They have a lifestyle that they want with extreme flexibility, and WildTree definitely gives that opportunity. And then there are those who come into WildTree for the fun. We all know those people who just love to have an outlet to have a little bit of fun. I found that there are lots of people in WildTree who have another job. Perhaps they love it, it's steady, there's no problem there, but they're just looking for a fun outlet, something that will allow them to hang out with people, have a glass of wine, maybe meet new people, go on our incentive trips, and they're just really looking for that social network that's going to be fun and engaging. Others come to WildTree because of personal development. And this was probably the other thing that resonated with me initially. I'm going to talk a little bit later about that. But for many people, just having the opportunity to maybe stretch a little bit, sometimes stay-at-home moms kind of start getting that mommy brain and need something to kind of stretch a little bit, use those skills that you have, get out of the house, and find a way to do something that's a different way, but not in the home. So personal development is definitely a great reason to join our WildTree community. And then speaking of community, not unlike people who go to college and join a fraternity or sorority, people don't do that because they don't have friends already, but there are some people who are just really looking to join a group of like-minded people. As adults, we tend to find this maybe in church groups, maybe workout buddies, school boards, just different groups. And for some people, they honestly just are attracted to Wild Tree because they know they'll find that sense of community by being part of our Wild Tree team. So for those of you who may have jumped on to support a family or friend, maybe you just want to know more about what Wild Tree is and what adventure that maybe the person who invited you is on. We really appreciate you and thank you for being a great supporter to that person. But really, regardless of why you jumped on the call tonight, it never hurts to be educated, learn what's out there, and learn what choices you have. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of get things rolling here. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I'm going to cover tonight. So first up, I'm going to introduce you to one of our outstanding Wild Tree leaders on our team. And you'll get to know a little bit more about Maria. And she is just a great example of some of the amazing men and women that we get to work with. Second, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Wild Tree, our industry, and how Wild Tree is honestly the best opportunity available right now. Third, I'm going to go through some 5 key questions that experts have shared to consider when you're choosing a company to align yourself with. And then next, I'll explain how we make our money. And then lastly, I will tell you how you can get started with Wild Tree should this be the right opportunity for you. So without any further ado, I have the privilege of introducing one of my great business partners, Maria Hardy.
Thank you, Leisha. Yes, my name is Maria, and I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I have 2 girls, ages 7 and 9, and a husband who works at Procter & Gamble. I've been with Wild Tree for about 5 years now. My anniversary is actually coming up here in October, so woohoo, my 5-year anniversary is coming up. I'm super excited about that. But let me share a little bit more about myself before I discovered Wild Tree. So before Wild Tree, I was a stay-at-home mom and worked very part-time as a personal trainer at my local gym. I was a former 4th grade teacher, but decided it was best for me to be at home with my girls when they were young. Yet we still wanted a little income to help pay the bills. I've always had a passion for health and fitness, and I knew when my girls were born that I wanted to feed them healthfully, but I was spending way too much time cooking and menu planning. I was spending at least an hour or more every Sunday finding recipes, going online, looking all over Pinterest, making notes, and then I was spending hours every week making our meals for the week. Fast forward a few years, and Wild Tree fell in my lap. I was introduced to Wild Tree when a friend of mine invited me to her tasting party, and I was sold. I loved that the products were healthy and clean, and that I could also buy a bundle of products that came with recipes and meal planners to help me save a ton of time and money. And with some encouragement from my husband and family, I decided I should join the Wild Tree movement. But I'll say that I put up a big fight about it at first. I really didn't want to do it and felt like I should just really consider something else, maybe going back to teaching or doing something else. But I decided, okay, what the heck, I'll try it. And as my business grew and my paycheck began to grow, so did my confidence in what this business could really have in store for me. Even though I grew up in a household with an extremely successful direct selling mom, she was in direct sales for the last 36 years now, I wasn't sure this was the right fit for me. She was making more than most doctors, and I wanted to make sure that I was sending my kids to college debt-free and wanted that same life for my own kids. But I didn't want to have to be salesy to my friends or beg people to have parties. But what I quickly realized with Wild Tree is that we offer so much more than a product. We have an incredible service to offer people, and if it was helping my own family so much, I knew it could help others as well. The impact Wild Tree has had on our family has been beyond my wildest dreams. My first paycheck with Wild Tree was about $300. That was great, paid for the diaper bill at the time. And my biggest paycheck with Wild Tree has been $6,000. I've earned incentive trips to exotic places all over the world. I get to bring my husband for free on all those trips. We've been able to do house remodeling and go on family vacations. We now know that we will send our kids to college debt-free, and I never have to go back to my full-time teaching job, which is a huge relief because this job is so much more fun. WildTree has given me the freedom and flexibility to be both stay-at-home mom and business owner. I want to be an example for my girls that if they work hard at something, they can achieve whatever they put their minds to. So it's been awesome.
Thank you, Maria. I so appreciate you sharing your WildTree story and your honesty and transparency. So thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So in case you are just joining us, my name is Leisha Holly, and I am a senior director with WildTree. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, close by to Maria, and I live with my husband, 3 kiddos, ages 18, 15, and 12. And although my background is in marketing, I honestly never imagined that I would end up spending my life helping families eat healthier while saving time and money for an all-natural and organic food company. It just really wasn't on my radar. So initially out of college, I had a successful run in corporate America, and then I chose to stay at home with my kids when they were young, and I really enjoyed that time. However, after kind of the initial overwhelming piece of being a full-time mom set in, I kind of realized I was missing a piece of myself. And I really just missed some of those things that I talked about earlier, that personal development and really a sense of accomplishment. So I actually joined another direct sales company when my youngest was just a little baby, or my oldest was a little baby. And I enjoyed it. I did work my way to the top of the compensation plan of that particular company. But to be very honest, I found I was making very little money. So at one point, I just had an epiphany that it simply just wasn't worth the time that I was investing in the payback for my family. So enter WildTree. I had a friend invite me to a tasting, similar to Maria's story. And honestly, I never looked back since. I was initially just fell in love with the concept of eating healthier. It was a journey I was already on, and it just made it so simple. I, too, loved the idea that not only are the products helpful, but with the menu planning and the recipes that go with them, it just was a no-brainer for our family. So after looking at the compensation plan, I knew hands down that this would be well worth the investment of my time. So initially, I joined WildTree because I love free trips. So initially, when I started working my business, I did enough to earn the free incentive trips. Very first one was to Costa Rica, which had been on my bucket list. And as Maria will kind of share in the visual, you'll see that for the first couple of years, I made a nice income that helped supplement kids' sports, buy a new van in cash, and do all those extra things that were just great for my family. But then I started to realize that, you know what, this is actually an amazing product that everyone needs, and that it really was so much more. It provides a service that people need through these workshops. So, combination of that and an epiphany that in about 2012, my husband had just reached a breaking point where he was just very unhappy in his corporate America job. And there's nothing worse than just seeing your best friend and spouse be so unhappy. So looking at some of my other colleagues in WildTree, seeing their financial success, I just made a decision to be more consistent and more focused in my efforts. So you can see through the income screen that my income started to grow as I became more consistent and more working smarter, not harder. So from what had initially been just extra money for travel, home remodels, buying a new van, and so forth, 2012 through 2014 saw some pretty big growth. It became more than just some extra money for my family. I truly feel like God sometimes puts things in your life for a reason, and that came to fruition when, in the fall of 2014, my husband actually got downsized from his job that was causing so much stress and unhappiness. But it truly was a blessing because by that point you can see our Wild Tree income could easily pay all the bills and gave my husband the opportunity to look for another job, consider if what he really wanted to do with the rest of his life. So I felt so grateful that Wild Tree had given us that opportunity. Fast forward, the past 2 years have been amazing with some things that we'll talk about later and just the growth of the concept of Wild Tree, the company itself. Obviously, my income has been able to grow. Over the last few years, when you look, I initially started and my first year was making $1,000 a month to in this year, in 2016, my highest single monthly paycheck so far has been over $13,000. It has just made such a difference for our family and such a security, similar to like Maria, where it's so great to know that our kids will be able to go to college debt-free, go to the college of their choice, and not think twice about it. So please let me tell you or let you know that as I tell you my story, it is certainly not to brag or boast, but honestly just to let you know what is possible. I am just a normal mom of 3 kids from Cincinnati, Ohio, with a vision. And it doesn't take 20 years to earn meaningful money with this company. You can change your financial situation this month if you choose to. So let's talk a little bit about the business plan. Experts tell us that when you are determining if a company or product to align yourself with professionally, there are 5 questions you should ask yourself. So the first question is the product unique and valuable? Wild Tree is the only all-natural and certified organic direct sales food company. So this means we have no real competition in the direct sales industry. Our society right now is undergoing a food awareness revolution. I'm sure you have seen it. People are demanding high quality, non-GMO, organic food, and we are here to deliver. Food allergies, unfortunately, are at an all-time high, and our company is completely nut-free and was founded with the goal of providing simple, healthy, allergen-free meals. We also have a certified gluten-free manufacturing facility. So obviously you can see we are on the cutting edge of this food revolution, and now is the time to jump in. Furthermore, food as a product category is consumable, and that means that we build residual income as our customers reorder and rebook with us regularly. So obviously they're going to the grocery store every single week to feed their families, so either the local grocery store or I can get a piece of the grocery budget, which is really awesome. All right, so the next thing you want to ask yourself when you're looking at a company is there widespread appeal for the product? So yes, we obviously have a product that everybody can enjoy. Doesn't matter if you're young, you're old, male, female, pretty much everyone I know has to eat. So when you think of the organic food industry, it's in high growth mode right now. The supply can't keep up with the demand, and honestly, it's a smart business to be in during this, quote, kind of right time, right place, perfect storm. I have found that this is typically the only home party that most husbands will actually kick their wives out the door because they're so excited that their wives will be bringing back bringing back home a set of yummy dinners. It's really fun to hear the stories, and it just makes the whole concept of booking parties fun. It makes it easy, and just to get that whole buy-in from the entire family. All right, so thinking about a company, mission is another important piece to think about. Does the product or company have a mission you can stand behind? And obviously there are dozens of companies out there with fun products, but you have to ask yourself, is this something you can truly be passionate about? Typically in society, and thinking of general careers, we often see that money and mission and flexibility are like oil and water. So a lot of times when you think of careers that have a big heart or big mission, like teaching, ministry, social work, they typically lack in the money department. Yet careers that sometimes are extremely financially rewarding sometimes will ask you to compromise your values or just don't give you the lifestyle flexibility that you want. So one of the things I greatly appreciate is at WildTree, you can have money and mission at the same time. Our mission here is to help educate families on how to prepare simple, healthy meals while saving time and money. So I love that we get to bring families back to the dinner table. I had someone post on Facebook their son drew a picture of their first day of school of one of their favorite things, and he drew, "I love that we eat dinner as a family." And she shared that, and that just made me smile. It's just an awesome feeling, and it's great to be part of the sense of mission and knowing that I'm helping others while still getting paid what I am worth. WildTree definitely has one of the most competitive compensation plans in the industry, and I'll share that with you guys in just a minute and see if that might make sense for you. Okay. Experts say you need to ask yourself, is the economical timing right? Okay, I am not talking about is the time right for you, because we are all busy with soccer tournaments, jobs, kids, wedding, bar mitzvahs, dance recitals, broken garage doors, you name it. We all have a lot going on. But the reality is we all have the same time to decide what is valuable to you. So what I'm talking about is, where is the timing of economics? So if you look at the visual, if you're looking online, you can see the stages of a business and how companies go through startup, into growth, maturity, and decline. That's a basic business life cycle. So you can see the companies always start out in the startup stage where they kind of test the market, show their strength. If they survive past that point, they'll move into the growth stage. And this is where everybody makes big money. This is where corporations make big money, or in the case of direct sales, people in the field make big money. They typically, then companies will hit a plateau and they evolve into advanced growth or die. So the problem is everyone typically will get in on that maturity plateau, and it's the classic, oh my gosh, if I only got back in way back when, imagine where I'd be now. So the good news is WildTree is exploding. We are in the growth stage. So looking at that chart, we are moving up on that growth place. We are a proven concept, and we have security and strength. But what is so unique about WildTree is that our market is still completely wide open. Even today, when I go to workshops, I would say 80 to 90% of people that come have never experienced WildTree. And I have to be truthful, it is so fun to be the person to introduce people to this new concept. People hear healthy, organic, time-saving, and they literally are like attracted like a magnet. So it just makes it really fun and profitable. And honestly, if you think I'm kidding, Maria popped up there for us. That's an example. You can go to wildtree.com and search for a rep in your area. And you can see here, even in Detroit, a somewhat concentrated area, it's still wide open. I mean, look at that. There's hardly anyone there. So everyone has to eat. We have no problem sharing the services that we have to offer. Okay. Other fifth component that you want to look for when aligning yourself with a company is asking, does the company have reputable leadership? So first, in case you don't know, WildTree's founder, Leslie Monti, developed all these spice blends in her home for her kids initially. She was a single young mom, and today she is our CEO and very active and involved in the WildTree business. Now, this might not be a big deal. You're thinking, what's the big deal, Lisa? But honestly, when you have a founder leading an organization, she's going to be leading from her heart. And Leslie's dedication to helping Wild Tree reps and to their success is sprinkled through every part of this opportunity. So, for example, our starter kit is only $50, and it has over $100 in food because she wants you to make a profit instantly. We have absolutely zero inventory. So there's no bait and switch like buy this kit and then we're like, ooh, secret showcase here or inventory package we encourage you to buy afterwards. None of that. Leslie also structured Wild Tree so that we have a company-paid hostess rewards program because she has always said from day one she wants 100% of our commissions to stay in our pocket. She even has a program where she pays for all of our business supplies like catalogs and order forms. She pays 100% of all of our credit card processing fees. And honestly, she is the most ethical and fair leader that I have ever had the pleasure to work with. In terms of field leaders, honestly, I feel like we have hit the jackpot. I have met and worked with some of the most passionate, strategic, visionary leaders that I've ever had the pleasure to work with, and work with these women who have chosen to build their careers with Wild Tree. They come from a wide, diverse experience field. Most had no sales experience at all. We have lots of teachers, therapists, accountants, you name it. And it's just really a beautiful melting pot of talent. I love personal development. I love learning from all of my co-leaders every day. Here at Wild Tree, we have such a culture of sharing and support. And regardless of whose team you're on and all, there is just help for everybody. And that's such an awesome feeling being part of such a special community of professionals. We also have a proven track record and simple system to plug you into for success. We literally have thousands of reps and leaders earning between $1,000 and $50,000 in commissions per month. And I didn't say that wrong. Yep, $50,000 a month. But we honor the fact that everyone has their own unique goals for themselves. So we offer all kinds of free phone, online trainings that you can access on your own schedule. We have optional local monthly meetups. And the great part is you have a 100% free business coach who is personally invested in helping you succeed based on your goals. So those are the 5 questions that experts tell you to ask. But I am going to throw one more out there that I believe is extremely important when thinking about a company you want to align yourself with. Can you see yourself having fun in this business? I love my business. I have so much fun. It's simple and it's fun. I honestly look forward to my workshops. I love the opportunity to just have a glass of wine, meet a new group of people, help them feed their families, take away that pressure of what's for dinner. The way our business is structured, it's not high-pressured sales. And I also love that even back when I had to hire a babysitter to do workshops, I never worry about paying a babysitter or, will a workshop cancel due to bad weather? We've had crazy weather these last few years. Because with our freezer meal workshops or dinner prep workshops, everything is paid and prepared in advance. So I know exactly what I'm making that day when I leave my house and I just show up. I have fun, I socialize, build relationships. It's simple. So with that being said, let me talk a little bit about how do we earn money in Wild Tree. That's usually a question a lot of people want to know. So there's basically 3 ways we earn money. 1 is through our personal sales. 2 is our leadership commissions. And the 3rd piece are prizes such as all-inclusive international trips that you can earn up for yourself and up to 3 guests. So first of all, let's talk about the personal sales and your personal commission. Okay, by selling the product, we earn 25 to 40% commission on anything we sell. So we can sell Wild Tree through a variety of avenues. First, we have our beautiful catalogs. We have our own personal website. We can do fundraisers. We can do personal shopping, gift basket services. But we typically see the highest amount of success through the in-home tasting party or the ever-popular freezer meal workshops. The average tasting or workshop in Wild Tree nationwide is over $500, which means that in just a few hours working outside your home per week, you can earn over $500 profit per month. All right, so the second way we can earn income is through sharing the career opportunity and building a team. So by building a team, your team members always earn a full commission based off their performance level, and Wild Tree Corporate pays you the commission check for helping to find and train a successful person. So it's kind of like my husband. He's a sales manager in corporate America. He earns a bonus based off of his the sales objectives of his team of sales reps that he manages, and then his boss earns a bonus based off of how his team does, and so on and so forth. So Wild Tree is structured the same way. But the huge piece that is so different is that my husband and those working in corporate America do not have unlimited potential. So by building a team, you can promote yourself as fast as you want and earn a leadership commission. You don't have to play politics. You don't have to go on strike or wait for your boss to get promoted. You can do it when you want to and start earning more income. So successful team leaders typically earn between $1,000 to $5,000 per month. Our mid-level to top directors in the company typically earn six figures and beyond. And the great part is it's all what you want to make of it. So lastly, the other piece of how we earn money with Wild Tree, or income through Wild Tree, is through the amazing prizes and rewards that Wild Tree has for us. My personal favorite is the annual all-expense-paid international trip. It is 100% paid for airfare, ground transportation, hotel, food, you name it. I always joke, everything but souvenirs they pay for. And it's for up to you. You can earn it for yourself and up to 3 additional guests. So what I love about this trip is that even as a part-time rep, you can earn it, and it's not capped out to a certain number or the first 100. It's literally open to everybody. I still remember when I earned my first Wild Tree incentive trip to Costa Rica. It had been a bucket list destination for me, and I will never, ever forget that trip and the opportunity to take my husband there. And at that point, I was just hooked. Since then, we've earned trips all over the Caribbean and Mexico, and even this last year, I earned it and was able to earn enough extra people I could bring that I brought my children with me and gave them the opportunity to do some international traveling on Wild Tree. So traveling free once a year is definitely a great perk for such a flexible business opportunity. And it's not too late. You can jump on board now and still have plenty of time to earn our next trip, which is next May to Jamaica. So, all right, what happens next? We definitely want you guys to know that you may want some time to process, give this income opportunity some thought, but we also are looking for some action takers. That being said, sleep on it, think over it, talk to your best friend, husband, whoever you get support from. But I honestly would not wait too long because we are about to roll into our busiest time of the year, the fall. As you can probably notice, you've probably noticed all the school buses, it's back to school time, and people are just ready to get back into routines and are back to getting organized, and Wild Tree is just the perfect solution for that mealtime organization. It's definitely the perfect time to just jump in, learn the ropes, and get yourself ready to capitalize on our busy season. So I encourage you to contact the person who invited you to be on tonight's webinar. They can give you more details on if they have a signing bonus, if you decide to join our Wild Tree team. And honestly, it takes about 5 minutes to get started. So again, I really just want to thank each and every one of you for taking time to jump on this call tonight and learn more about Wild Tree. I really do hope that you will give this opportunity careful consideration and take advantage of this cutting-edge, groundbreaking opportunity. If you think about where Wild Tree is in the marketplace, where we're going, and you decide you want to be a part of it, we would love to have you. So, Maria, if you can unmute the line, I would love
Sure.
to answer any questions that you guys might have.
All right, we're in question and answer mode. Can you all hear me?
Okay. It always takes one to be the first to ask questions, so. Oh, Christina says she's speaking. Perhaps, Christina, do you have your phone muted? Or if you're through your computer, you might not have the volume up?
Let me try and open these chats. Or you can type a question into the chat.
Yep. I can see where people are typing in where they're from, which is fun to see.
It says you have to unmute it. Well, that's what I did. Did you hear that, Leisha?
Yeah, I heard it say it's in question and answer mode. Okay, someone said, I want to ask about income taxes. Have you had any issues with this? When you say issues, it's actually a huge tax advantage. I've had people come to me and say, my tax accountant or financial planner had said I need to start my own business to get some tax advantages. Obviously, Maria and I are not CPAs or accountants and can't give financial advice, but I know from working with my accountant that there are considerable tax advantages by having your own business, just things that you can write off that you probably already have, like a cell phone that I'm guessing each and every one of you have. And so there are just some significant tax advantages. So actually it's not an issue, it's a plus.
For sure.
Oh, and then she also said, how do you file? Initially, when I was just doing it as a hobbyist and just making like $10,000, $20,000 a year, I just did my taxes myself. Eventually, I have an accountant do it, and it's pretty simple. And once you join, I mean, typically most upline leaders can give you some resources to, little tracking tools to help track expenses, mileage, and things of that nature.
Any other questions out there? That was a good one.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can type in the chat. Oh, do you have to press *69 to unmute? Maybe try that.
Okay.
So if you're trying to talk, maybe press *69 to unmute your line.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I just have a question about do you have a visual of the marketing plan that shows how you work your way up? Is there somewhere on the website that is available, or?
Yeah, typically the person that invited you can share that with you. We just, for sake of time, wanted to keep this, within, a 30, 45-minute time frame. But yeah, absolutely. Real quickly, in a nutshell, the great part is you can promote yourself to the highest personal sales commission in your second month. So it's not like you have to do a whole lot for, years and years or whatnot. So you are completely in control of that. But yeah, you can max out your personal commission and basically triple your leadership bonuses in your second month.
Okay.
All right. Cheyenne asks, what if you fail? Is that defined by not meeting the 350 year? I'm a single mom. My son is not yet in school, so I feel like I don't have a good network to tap into. Oh, Cheyenne, you sound like so many people just thinking, how can I do this? And I would say one of the great things is there are so many resources. It's having been in Wild Tree for 8 years, there are so many support pieces and resources to help you be successful that if you feel like there is something that you need help with, maybe it's, I know some people come in and say, I don't have the background. It seems like you're worried about your network. There are trainings and videos and support material that can help you. I know I've worked with team members that are brand new to a city or maybe moved to a city where they know literally not one person and successfully launch or relaunch their business. So whatever your challenge or situation might be, I guarantee you there's someone who has gone through and successfully gotten through that. So that is the great part of the network of support and training that we have. So I would definitely talk to the person that invited you on this call, and they can help be a huge resource for you.
Maria?
Yes?
Hey, it's Bethany.
Hi, Bethany. I'm so
Hey,
glad you joined.
I did, and this was so great and informative. But my question, because you've answered most of everything, and I'm just getting started, but what do you have to reach to earn the trips?
Oh, good question. I'll just define it briefly. Do you think that's okay, Leisha, to go ahead and do that right now?
Yeah, I would put it in like real simple terms.
Yeah. To earn the trip, you need to have at least 12 people join your team between now and end of January, and have $24,000 in sales, and have 35,000 right in points. Leisha, is that right? To earn the trip. Typically, to earn the trip, you have a full 13 months to earn that trip. Right now, we're about halfway through that trip earning period, but it's still really doable.
I better
Yeah,
get busy.
and I have found that I like to say if you're working consistently every week, that typically you will earn the trip. So if you're going to do 4 things a month, 4 workshops, typically that will get you those pieces that Maria talked about, points or sales or whatnot to earn the trip. Now coming in halfway through the year, obviously you need to up that a little bit more. So you could say, would I be willing to work 6 nights or seven times a month, which is kind of laughable because if you went down the street to Target and said, hi, I'd like to come in and work 5 times a month, and then in the spring will you send me on an all expense paid trip? They just look at you like you have 4 heads. So, we're not talking, this isn't even like 4 times a week. We're talking, typically at this point in the trip earning period, you're probably more like 6 or potentially 7 times a month. So.
Okay, well, thanks.
Good question. I have
we
somebody
have
else
who join this time of year and always earn it. So that's the fun part. Like they always love highlighting. Here's Sarah, and she joined us in September, and here she is in Jamaica. So it's always fun to see those group of people. Awesome. Alicia had a chat question for us. She said, I have seen some back-to-school bundles and some freezer snacks. Are they company bundles or ones created by the reps? Alicia, you're going to probably see a combination. The back-to-school bundle that is out this month is company created and actually company funded. So every month, that's another kind of perk that Wild Tree does is they offer half-off bundles with purchase. And those are funded half off by Wild Tree. So it's not, your rep is not eating that other 50%, which is super generous on their part. And those change month to month. The snack bundle you're referencing or the freezer snacks, I think that's probably what you've seen. There's been some burritos and snack things. Those are field created, just kind of extra added bonuses based on demand. Sometimes people in an area will be like, wow, I'd love to have burritos I could have for my kids in the morning. And then some of our talented reps will come up with those. So you'll see some of those floating around too, just based on demand. And then typically home office gets wind, and then they pull it in and run it through our dietitians and chefs, and they make it all fancy and legit. So that didn't come out right, fancy and legit. What's a better word, Maria? Nutritionally sound and easy.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't expected to come up with that. Oh my gosh, Alicia, your name is almost like mine, Alicia. We are like twin sisters. I always say do not recreate the wheel. That is a beauty.
You're never expected.
Oh my gosh.
Never expected
in 8 years,
to do that,
I've never
ever.
made a flyer or any of those bundles.
No.
Know that you will be well supported with that. My motto is simple and easy and fun. So you are welcome. All right, who else has a question? If you're trying to ask a question and not having success, apparently just press *69 and that will get you off mute. Okay. Well, if we don't have any other folks who are wanting to ask any more questions, I really just do encourage you to go back to the person who invited you on this call.
We do have one more question.
One more?
Yeah. It says, are we free to use other reps' Facebook ideas for our own? And the answer for that, I feel like, is typically yes, but you have to ask first, just like you would for anything. If you wanted to borrow a shirt from a girlfriend, you'd probably have to ask her first, and she'd probably say yes, but it's probably the polite thing to do to ask first. Because, some people spend a lot of time coming up with those ideas and images, and they just prefer you ask. So, good question.
That's great, Maria. Nope. All right. If we don't have any other questions, again, just I really encourage you to go back to the person who invited you. Maybe you got a text or you saw on Facebook and inviting you to just listen in. But we really do encourage you to go back to them and really explore the possibilities. Like we said, it's a great time to get started, and we would love to have you all part of our Wild Tree team and family. So have a great night, everyone.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
everyone
you
for joining us. Bye.
Bye-bye.